force. Manze venye zangu zimenishika na kupa tunaweza choma picha.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Voices of the Millennial Podcast, most definitely powered by Kenyan Powerhouse, Africa's Life of the Party. I go by the name Zach with a K. With me on the pod today is a very important guest, but just before I get to introduce her, or she gets to introduce herself, remember you could keep the conversation going on all our social media platforms. Kenyan Powerhouse. The hashtag is Voices of the Millennial Podcast. Also visit our website. That's www.kenyanpowerhouse.africa. So like I said, I have a very important guest. So I'll just give you a small background of how we got to know each other. Her name is Lisa from IMM, which stands for Innovative Minds Marketing. She'll be telling us more about that. We got to know each other via a professional social media platform, which most of you know, called LinkedIn. We got to exchange a few ideas here and there, and we were like, why not jump on the pod and give the audience a bit of gems in all matters digital marketing. How are you, Lisa?
Zach, I'm amazing. Thanks for asking, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, you're most welcome. How's your part of the world?
Oh, it's great. It's starting to shift from warm, hot summer weather, and it's getting to a nice, cool fall breeze.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So, first things first, Lisa. At least I know a bit about you, but the Voices of the Millennial Podcast family would like to know, who is Lisa? What does she do? Where is she from? What's her background? Just in a nutshell, you could tell us a bit about that, please.
Sure. First, I want to say, here in my place, I keep my windows up, let the air flow in. So there you may hear some noise, maybe an ambulance, cars passing by. So don't mind that.
Okay, no worries.
But first, before I get into anything, I think what's more important is, can you tell me why you're the life of the party in Africa?
Oh, that's a good one. So, Voices of the Millennial is just like a byproduct of our company called Kenyan Powerhouse. Kenyan Powerhouse is a blog where we get to capture festival culture in our country, in East Africa, soon the whole continent, and most definitely the globe. So that's why we are Africa's Life of the Party.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, a little about me. I haven't yet. Well, Africa's on my bucket list. A few places throughout. Kenya being one of them.
Yeah.
So my company, Innovative Minds Marketing, we have really two areas that we've branched off into.
Yeah.
Started out, as your typical agency, digital marketing agency, managing, social media accounts, having fun, being creative, creating content, working with, small, medium-sized business owners.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've branched out to, lots of areas, just like, digital marketing over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
a lot of different areas have, developed
Yeah.
over the years to help companies use online marketing to, really do a number of things, introduce products, make sales. Um, so it's an exciting time for digital marketing. Um, and I'm happy to be one of those that really have been doing this for a while, just out of love, out of passion.
Yeah.
So Innovative Minds Marketing, it represents the love that's and my experience over the years in digital marketing, from startup apps,
Yeah.
um, um, you know, uh, working on, really a number of many different projects. But I think over the years, I've really gravitated towards social media.
Yeah.
So here recently, we've shifted a lot of our focus on social media, really getting creative with, projects, campaigns,
Yeah.
and that encompasses social media, from, photography to video, all the fun stuff. So, really taking a shift there. But I think what's also most important is our think tank, IMM think tank,
Oh, you're on think
and
tank.
yes, the think tank, and that's where we connected with um, creating courses,
Wow.
creating educational resources, databases, knowledge banks, because digital marketing is such, a new field. You know, there's so much, and I know we talked about it being oversaturated, the market. So, the goal of the think tank is to be an organized way to access digital marketing um, content,
Oh.
digital marketing resources and content.
Oh, okay, okay. That's, this is like, I hope you guys are getting gems from here, but we are just getting started. And I remember you telling me, you have like 10 plus years experience, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's actually one of the things that caught my attention, because I mean we're in the same field, and I'm only like turning 5 years, I guess, next year. So that was like a really wow factor for me, because I was sure by the end of this session I'll have gotten to learn more and more. Also, I would like to ask Lisa, has your like uh, childhood or family setting contributed to your career in any way? Why I ask this is because I remember the first time we were talking, you told me about like some of your family members being known for teaching, and you had to take what you have, which is digital marketing, and being like, whoa, why can't I like now teach them this skill? Could you like tell us more about that?
Yes, yes. You know, I am a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe that did stem from growing up with, my mom, who's, an educator.
Yeah.
Um, so always having kids around and always kind of taking on that responsibility to be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
um, to teach others. Um, so it's carried with me throughout the years. But yeah, my early childhood, both my parents, I think I mentioned to you, are entrepreneurs. They own their own, businesses.
Yeah.
So, seeing, all of my siblings, we all are, very similar, um, you know, being entrepreneurs and starting businesses that reflect our, personal passions.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's totally true, and I love that aspect, and how we've connected it from maybe your family settings to now contributing to your career today. You know, my audience doesn't know like you're, for lack of other words, trying to be humble, because you've worked for, or you've worked with big brands like Apple. I would like to ask Lisa, how has working with such brands contributed uh, to you as an entrepreneur today?
Oh man, I love, that was my first job out of college.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, working at Apple, and it was, you know, maybe, I'm not sure how many years ago now, but 2010.
Yeah.
So yeah, about 2 years. So that's, around the time Apple, Steve Jobs was still living.
Yeah.
And, a lot of companies, a lot of people out of college were launching their own apps because
Yeah.
they wanted to be in the app store. So I was one of those, I had 2 travel apps. So that's how I got into digital marketing is, at Apple, starting my own app. So I had to teach myself everything there was, about social media, about development, about, project management,
Yeah.
everything, email marketing,
Yeah.
and everything, because I was trying to take an app to the market and I wanted it to be successful. So I took it upon myself to, you know, teach myself everything along the way. But, working at Apple, it was, really just an eye opener. Apple is known to have, most creative,
Yeah, most
great
definitely.
hearted. Yeah, it's a great company. So it really inspired me. And gave me, and with Apple, I taught classes, even sometimes topics I didn't know much about, I would have to learn on the fly and
Wow.
teach customers as they came in, hold workshops. So it's been kind of starting to develop, since day one, so over 10 years, it's just always just like everyone, your skills over the next 5 years, you're going to hone those, especially if every day you're working, working hard towards your goals.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. So, I just wanna hear if I got this right. You got your first job. Your first job was at Apple, right?
Yes.
Must
Yep.
must be nice. Must be nice because most of us don't just start and like be like, yeah, I'm working with Google or I'm working with Apple or I'm working with other big
Yeah.
companies. So that must have
Let,
been a really nice thing.
let me say this. It was the Apple store. This was the time 10 years ago where the Apple stores were expanding. So this was an actual store location. It wasn't corporate.
Oh,
Not that it makes,
a
a major
difference.
difference.
Yeah, true.
So I lived in South Florida, and I worked my way through, the Apple store, which was, Steve Jobs' retail
Yeah.
uh, vision for, Apple. So
That's
great times, great times.
oh yeah, true. That's really great to know. And we had you at the beginning of this session talking about your company, which is now your full-time baby, the Innovative Minds Marketing. Man, first of all, that name, it's like one already knows what you guys deal in when they read the name Innovative Minds Marketing. And I went through the socials and I saw what all you guys uh, deal with, and I remember you also mentioned it, but could you like now get into detail in terms of what services you guys offer?
Sure. So I'll say this because um, we're always learning. So tell me what your take is now that you've done your research.
Yeah.
What is your take on it? But thank you for saying that. I'm happy that the name provokes um, you know at least something.
Yeah. So you'd like to know like what's my take about the company, right?
Yes.
O-
Yes.
Also, actually, I went to the socials, went to the website, you know, found out you guys deal in capacity building or training, like, giving a skill set to other people who might require it. Because, in this day and age, online presence I know is very, very important. Doesn't matter which industry you're in, it could be agriculture, it could be mining, it could be tourism, it could be anything, it could be entertainment. But in this day and age, everyone requires, a little bit of this skill, and I think that's the problem you're solving, right?
Well, if you have your computer or phone, if you go to innovativemindsmarketing.com.
Yeah, let me head to it right now. innovatemarketingminds.com.
And you'll see the reason I'm guiding you there.
Yeah.
It'll. Who are some of the top marketing agencies or tech companies there where you are in your part of Africa?
Oh, okay. So one of the biggest tech here. Um, okay, I think it's like more of telecommunication, but they've grown their wings to tech and so on and so forth. They're called Safaricom. Yeah, and I'm on the website as we speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What makes them great? What makes their company great?
Actually, the one thing that gave them a breakthrough was money transfer. Before, we didn't have like money transfer. You either could do it via the post office, or maybe go to Western Union if you need to like do an international transfer. So actually, Safaricom came to save our lives, since they created for us a platform where we could just go to an agent anywhere in the country and send money to our friends, family, and loved ones. So that actually made a huge impact in our country, and now spreading to the whole of the continent, and the diaspora, most definitely.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm on the website as we speak.
So is that different from what you saw last time you checked the website?
Yes, I did. Actually, the first time I was on the right one, but I thought I was in the wrong platform. That's why I was even confused, but I think we're on the right track.
Yes, you can see the other link I sent you too. That's the think tank. That's for but just saying that to show you how flexible, lean. What is your take when you hear someone say they're a lean company or agile? When you hear the word agile and lean, what do you think?
Actually, I've heard that word for the longest time ever, but I haven't gotten a chance to like actually to know what agile means. So I'm not sure if you could tell me more about it.
Yeah, agile. Well, when I say IMM, Innovative Minds Marketing, we're an agile company. It means we're flexible. So let's say a more traditional company, companies that I love, even IBM or even Apple,
Mm,
right? They're companies. They have a lot of employees, a lot of systems.
yeah.
Especially older companies, they have, they're not able. They're so large. Sometimes they're not able to shift and make changes, make business changes because it's so much that's involved in it. But being lean, means being resourceful.
Oh, yeah, makes
Being
sense. Makes sense.
agile means being resourceful. So, it means just using what you have to make the best of it. So, saying that to say, I've always used free tools for digital marketing,
Yeah.
uh, Google, MailChimp,
Yeah.
so always start lean, always start light with the free tools,
Yeah.
and just, start where you are.
Yeah. With what you have, right? Because
Yes.
like a lot of people tell stories, and most successful stories are like, look here guys, I started with with the resources I had, then grew to a much bigger and better entity. So I kind of relate to that, and that brings us on to our next question. I know we are touched about this, but I would like to hear your take on it as well. um do you think digital marketing is important in this day and age?
Yes.
Kindly tell us a bit more about your thoughts.
Well, I think if we just continue on what we were talking about before about being lean and agile,
Yeah.
I think it gives tools to people who didn't have them before. You used to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to start businesses, right?
Yeah.
So, from that sense, it makes, more entrepreneurs. It creates more jobs for creative people.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's why I love digital marketing.
Oh, yeah, true. Because especially after the pandemic, like personally, I lost my 8 to 5 job. So I just thought, why can't I, like, I have everything I need. I have my laptop, I have my internet, I have my hard drive, everything I need to start doing my freelance remotely. So I was like, why not try it? Almost a year down, and still trying to catch up, but I can say it's not as bad as I thought it would be, because you see, there was also the factor of fear and so on and so forth. I heard you touch about something to do with the saturation of the market, and I heard you talking about it, but I'll give, my 2 cents about it. Yes, I do think the market is saturated, but one can have a skill set that could make them stand out. For example, I don't just do digital marketing. I do a bit of graphic design, a bit of content creation, which puts me at a better place than maybe a person who's only aware of social media marketing and doesn't know anything about email marketing. Like, I heard you talk about MailChimp, which is a very good tool, and I use it also, by the way. I don't know, what's your take? What's your take on the saturation, and how could you, like, advise young digital marketing marketers who are trying to find their way through this career of digital marketing?
Um, Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many how many businesses are there in the world?
Um, Far too many.
So from that perspective, I'd
Yeah.
say there aren't enough digital marketers, right?
Yeah.
So expanding on that, one person can make a living with one client.
Yeah.
If, they're paid well, they do well, they help the company grow, the company shares in that.
Yeah.
So I think humble beginnings,
Yeah.
starting where you are. You don't have to make millions of dollars the first year, and you don't ever have to make millions of dollars. Just,
True.
uh, you know, uh, simply find a project or a client or a business you love working with, explore others, so it's really just making it's a way to earn a living doing something you love. If you're creative, if you're a problem solver, it's a great career. Just take your time, live simply, learn financial management, enjoy life, travel, find that balance. But I don't think it's oversaturated. Just find your niche, find your way, and it's going to be something that you love, fall in love with.
Yeah, that's so true. I hope you guys are getting gems from Lisa, because you didn't hear it from anywhere else. You just heard it from Voices of the Millennial podcast. Okay, I think I have a question that if I don't ask, my people will be really angry. So how could my people, and when I say my people, I mean Voices of the Millennial pod family, how can they get you, be it your social, email, or contacts?
Well, LinkedIn is the best way to connect with me. So you can leave that link in the notes, and then that's easy way to access.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll leave your LinkedIn username. So, guys, if you need to reach out to Lisa, ask her questions, get to know more about digital marketing. She has vast experience, so you can always hit her up on her LinkedIn. I'll be leaving that on the notes or the description. Lisa, just before we conclude on the pod, is there anything you'd like to add? Any parting shot or anything you feel like we didn't cover on our pod?
Well, Innovative Minds Marketing. I just want everyone to remember that name, and as we continue to expand, bring on new projects, bring in new creatives. Definitely, want to expand out to Africa at some time. So if there's anyone out there that is interested, definitely feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I am in Africa, I think that's, I don't have anything. Oh, well, I know we're doing a podcast, Master of All Podcasts, IMM. We're going to be expanding out, so I'd love to have you on there.
Yeah, most definitely. You should invite me.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So if that's just about it, I guess you guys have heard from Lisa. Thank you very much for tuning in to Voices of the Millennial podcast. It's been your host doing the most, Zakie with a K. Till next time, let us know if you want Lisa and I to have another session and discuss more on digital marketing or, any other topic. So thank you very much. Till next time, bye.